And now Instagram has a mute white people button appearing on Instagram stories saying, we don't want to hear from white people. White people don't have a right to speech. You can pull up the article about Instagram bans post showing black on white crime statistics. You've got 5 times black people being killed by black people than white people killing black people. So that's what Black Lives Matter is talking about. Black Lives Matter is about owning blacks and representing blacks and saying that George Soros, a Nazi collaborator, New World Order demon, is a black man, so you can't criticize his agenda or you're anti-black, when it's the Democratic Party literally created to keep slavery going. The Republicans tried to end it when the country was started. And they did end it with the damn Civil War. But in upside down land, it's the Republicans, because they don't want reparations for slavery. They don't like black people. We're fighting for the human future. I know we're going to win. The question is, how bad's it got to get till people really wake up and understand this is the real deal, that I'm completely real. I'm completely obsessed with your future because it's part of my future. And I'm not laying down to people that want me to roll over and die and want me to kill you just because of what color you are. But if they can trick you to come at me because of what color I am, I'll defend myself, and I'll be sad when I got to put your ass down. But I'd rather come together and defeat this satanic attack on the planet, which you can all feel and see. Join humanity in a pro-human future. Defeat the serpent. Man.video. You see them saying churches are non-essential, family gatherings are bad, anything traditional, anything pro-human, anything where we come together is bad for the greater good. But if it's to abolish the police department, if it's to open the borders up, if it's to kill white people, well, then whether it's in England or whether it's in Australia or whether it's in the United States or Canada or Germany, then it's a good thing. Oh, we need to bring in unlimited migrants, even though supposedly all of them have COVID or 70% have it because they've all had the flu or a cold in the last 10 years. Again, that's all a hoax admitted. Medical doctors try to come out, expose it, they get banned, but not Dr. Gates. Because he's not a doctor, he's a globalist frontman for the cartel, the anti-human cartel. So when you see them doing things like this, you have to understand, they're coming in. Soros didn't spend of U.S. taxpayer money, that's where he really got it all, through the State Department, through Obama and the Clinton era and Bush era deals. He didn't spend billions of dollars overthrowing Ukraine to then just let it go back to the control of the people. They didn't spend billions of dollars electing over 500 county attorneys and circuit court attorneys like Kim Gardner in St. Louis, or the new district attorney in Austin, who actually praises Soros, got 600 grand from him, and actually says they're going to abolish the police and that white people are bad. He's a Hispanic extremist. Well, of course, if you got the third world you control the UN, you control the migration routes, you fill brown people full of hate of whites, you bring them in with a political motion, you abolish the police and then take it back over yourself and make it all race-based, and then take the wealth away from the middle class by branding it white, even though the top 9 slots in the U.S. for wealth are Asian groups. Chinese, South Korean, Indian, the list goes on and on. White people don't even show up on the list till after Muslims, Arabs, look it up, who are also counted as Asian. Did you know that? An Arab is counted as Asian because it's a kind of crossroads of the planet. African, Caucasian, and Asian is really what an Arab is. Some more white, some more black, some more Asian. We have all the variations, but they're listed as Asian. So down here on the totem pole, there's 9 groups above the evil devil white. When you're talking about general wealth of the general average person. Now, the billionaires are mainly white. Some could be German, some Jewish, there's some Asian, a lot of Asian billionaires as well. There's a few African billionaires, but they're all part of the global cabal that's anti-human. So they're teaching us all to hate each other, want to kill each other over resources, when there's an evil anti-human force directing it all. But still, If you're a black guy and the super rare event, you're in some town and the KKK does something to you, it's still racist whites coming after you. If you're a white person in the incredibly common, if you're a white person and the incredibly common event that a black person attacks you because you're white, those statistics are then covered up. Because again, that's part of the power play with the globalist deep state, because they've got 6.5+ billion people that aren't white. And so if you just simply convince them to hate white people, you can have them pull down the first world, and then no one has a chance of getting out of any of this. And now Instagram has a mute white people button appearing on Instagram stories saying, we don't want to hear from white people. White people don't have a right to speech. You can pull up the article about Instagram bans post showing black on white crime statistics. And now universities are having major classes that are mandatory about extinguishing whiteness and how whiteness is a bad thing. Imagine we're having classes about being black being bad. So that's what this is a globalist, anti-human system. And we in the West that decided to try to end slavery, we in the West that decided to have a renaissance and a Christian ethos to build up humanity, they use our openness and our goodness to tell us we're not perfect. So we project then onto the third world that they're better than us and they're good people when they're just as tribal and just as racist, or more so than white people have ever been. And it's total naivete. But the whites have been trained to politically bow down to the globalists and politically do whatever they say so they don't get called the mean name when the very country and system that is empowering the world for human freedom is being destroyed. There's the article, Infowars.com. Instagram censors FBI crime stats graph as hate speech. Show it to them. Blow that up. Scroll down, please. There's what Black Lives Matter is talking about. Right there, you have whites killed by blacks, 9.83%. Blacks killed by whites, 0.77%. That's more than 10 times, and that number's 2 years old. Now the numbers are 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person if you're white than if you're a black person killed by a white. Whites killed by whites, 10.22. Higher number than blacks killing whites. Just like you've got blacks killing blacks. Let's show that number. Go back up, please. You've got blacks killed by blacks, 53.94. You've got 5 times black people being killed by black people than white people killing black people. So that's what Black Lives Matter is talking about. Black Lives Matter is about owning blacks and representing blacks and saying that George Soros, a Nazi collaborator, New World Order demon, is a black man, so you can't criticize his agenda or you're anti-black, when it's the Democratic Party literally created to keep slavery going. The Republicans tried to end it when the country was started. And they did end it with the damn Civil War. But in upside down land, it's the Republicans, because they don't want reparations for slavery. They don't like black people. And you're never going to get those reparations. If they ever have them, the bureaucrats are going to steal 99% of the money and give you a token of it with a bunch of controls over you. Why do you think the Supreme Court ruled that half of Oklahoma belongs to Native Americans? Because there's going to be a consortium of lawyers that come in and take control of half the state now and steal all the money and break the state apart. And it's a model for the rest of the country, because the globalists already have 80% of the West under federal UN control. And now they're going to go into all the old areas where Native Americans sold off their interest or had it taken away and claim you've got a right to it, so they can break up what's left of the country with reparations for Native Americans, which they'll never get. Boy, all that money for Native Americans, but you notice they're the poorest people out there. Even though per capita they're getting more money than anybody out there, because it's all being siphoned off, and it's all being made to keep them under their globalist control. We're fighting for the human future. I know we're going to win. The question is, how bad's it got to get till people really wake up and understand this is the real deal, that I'm completely real. I'm completely obsessed with your future because it's part of my future. And I'm not laying down to people that want me to roll over to die and want me to kill you just because of what color you are. But if they can trick you to come at me because of what color I am, I'll defend myself and I'll be sad when I got to put your ass down. But I'd rather come together and defeat this satanic attack on the planet, which you can all feel and see. Join humanity in a pro-human future. Defeat the serpent. I'm really, really proud of the Dr. Jones Naturals activated charcoal, naturally fluoride-free mouthwash and toothpaste. And if you don't know what activated charcoal does, ladies and gentlemen, it naturally, in a clean way, strips away the toxins, the impurities, the plaque, and it doesn't damage the enamel. That's really important.
Support the InfoWar.
Buy it now at InfoWarsStore.com or go directly to drjonesnaturals.com for an entire line of new cutting-edge products with the power to make your life better.
Support the InfoWar.
This cleans them up beautifully, does an incredible job, but doesn't damage your teeth. And I believe you're going to like this as much as the other toothpaste, maybe even more. Over a year ago, I tried charcoal toothpaste from a major brand and thought it was amazing. And I went to my dad and people said, I would like to put out a charcoal toothpaste that doesn't have all this silicate and all these fillers in it. Very strong toothpaste. You've never used anything like it. Get yours at InfoWarsStore.com right now.
Have you tried taking the real red pill? A one-of-a-kind heart and brain formula designed exclusively for InfoWars Life. The main ingredient in the real red pill plus is pregnanolone, a little-known neurosteroid that assists in our body's natural hormone production, and low levels are associated with fatigue, low brain function, and unhealthy aging. The real red pill plus also provides essential trace minerals such as vitamin B12, calcium, and zinc, featuring naturally occurring L-theanine, caffeine, and theobromine. The energy blend inside the Real Red Pill Plus provides an extra pick-me-up for your day that goes beyond the second cup of coffee. So visit InfoWarsStore.com, go down the rabbit hole, and try taking the real red pill to see what it's really all about. That's InfoWarsStore.com.